Hi everyone. So today we are going to see how to create profiles on the site, how to deploy applications, application management. We are going to discuss today. So I'm starting with India, it takes a minute. Okay, we have already started. I'm opening the console. So in console, you go to applications. We always go with enterprise applications types. We never go with any type of application. We go with enterprise applications. Here you can go for install, or here you can click new application as well. Both are same. Enterprise application. So here you need to browse where your ER file is. So I have so many sample ER files available. Okay, I have an application called as Websphere Class16. Say next. Here there are two options for you to deploy the application. One is called as fast path, second one is called as detailed path. One is called as fast path, second one is called as detailed path. If you go with fast path, right, the deployment will be completed in around 14 or 12 steps. If you go with detailed path, right, if you go with detailed path, deployment will be completed in 4 steps. So detailed path only asks you whenever it wants some data. The rest of the options it takes automatically. Whereas fast path, if you go with fast path, right? Sorry, vice versa. Fast path will take all the options by itself and it asks you very few when it wants the confirmation. Whereas detailed path will show you each and every step while deployment is going on. So for the first time, I would suggest you to go with detailed path. Say next. So this is the first page of the deployment. First page of the deployment, first step I can say. So pre-compile JSPs. You know already. In ER file we will have web modules. Inside the web module we will have JSP pages. Okay. So JSP pages are the pages which don't need any compilation. You just need to run JSPs. That's it. You don't need to compile that. So that's why we have this option. Pre-compile JSP options. You don't need to compile them. You can run them directly. If you want forcefully, yes, but it wastes some time. That is why I am not checking it. And directly to install application. So you know right already, by default application gets deployed to a directory called as installed apps. Yesterday we discussed. So you don't need to do anything here. By default it takes. If you want to save your application anywhere specifically, you can give this folder name. We don't give usually anything here in organizations as well. And next, distribute the application. Yes, yesterday I told you already. It will be saved as ER file at cell level. And once it comes to installed apps folder, it displays as var jar separately. And use binary configuration. We never use this. Binary configuration is nothing but the properties that you get along with ER file. We never take the values along with ER file. We create our own resources after deployment. So usually we never go for this binary configuration. And deploy EJBs, yes, we do. Whenever you have EJB modules in your ER file, you have to check this box. We have to check this box. Deploy EJBs. And this is the name of the application. Name can be anything, your name or my name. So I just gave it. Addition, description, these are all not required. Deploy web services is one of the important options. I think I discussed what is the web service already. If application needs web services, if web services are written in application code, you need to check this box, else not required. So web services are helpful for application to contact another application or another service. So if your application needs that, you need to check this box, else not required. and application build ID, these are all optional. Usually if development folks give you, just go ahead with these values, else just say next. If you observe one thing, I did not select any option specifically. I am going with default options only. That is what we do in organizations. So this is important, guys. Have a look. These two are the modules of our ER file. You know already, ER file is a combination of jar and var. It contains a web module and it contains a EJB module. Contains an EJB module and a web module. So for EJB, you know the deployment descriptor is EJB-jar.xml, whereas for web it is web.xml. So here if you see, this is web module, this is EJB module, jar and var. So this is important step of deployment. You need to choose these two modules and you need to select the server to which you want to deploy and say apply. So that these two modules will be mapped to our server 1. So the meaning here is we deployed the application to server 1. That's it. We deployed the application to server 1. If you have any other server or cluster, it displays here the list. See, I have another server S1, but I did not touch it. So we deployed application to server 1 only. Say next. This is for EJB deploy. If you have any options you can provide, usually you don't need to do it. Say next. You see here JSP reloading. We have seen compilation of JSPs. Now this is reloading. Every time it reloads, so that you don't see any exceptions. Not required at all to reload, you can check. Shared libraries, you don't know what is a shared library as of now. We don't have any shared libraries here. This is also shared library step. See, there are so many useless steps. Don't worry, see, these are all some mappings you took by default from your application. Your job is just next finish. Nothing more than that. So this is important, guys. Remember this. This is for JDBC connection in fact. So application contains a name called as source storage. This is application's name. JNDA name we call it as, long ago I discussed. So by using this JNDA name only, we configure JDBC and all. In future you will come to know what is the use of this JNDA name and how to use it. So for now not required. The next one. So it is saying that JDBC bank resource is not available. It is unavailable. Yes, we did not create it. I'll create it later. That's a warning. We need to continue. See, always application will be mapped to default host. So here I introduce what is a virtual host. See, virtual host is a place where we will have application servers port numbers. Not all port numbers. The port numbers by using which we access the applications. Those port numbers, HTTP port number and HTTPS port numbers, are available in virtual host. Okay. So whenever end user gives a request, like let us say your application server port number is 9080. Whenever end user gives a request to access the application by using 9080, virtual host checks for it, whether it can accept the request or not. If that 9080 port number is under virtual host, then it accepts the request, else it rejects the request. So we should register our port number under virtual host. So there you will have default host and admin host or proxy host. You never map to anything. By default it is always default host and our port number will be under default host. I will show you after this. So now always go for default host. So So this is called as context root. Context root means the name by using which we access the application. Context root is the name by using which we access the application. So this is the context root of this application. So this is related to security. This is called as J2EA security or application security. We can provide security rules to our application. This we will come to know when we discuss security concept. For now, again, next. So almost every option, guys, we just say next, finish. We don't do much. So this is the summary of the deployment. Just finish it up. Done. Save to master configuration. Okay. So now come back to applications. Application got deployed and the state is unavailable. So we have to start. First I am starting my node agent. In order to start the server, we have to start node agent if you remember.
Deploy చేసాడంతే సర్వర్ లోకి ఇంకా స్టార్ట్ అవ్వలేదు అంతేగా.
No, sorry.
సో నోడ్ ఏజెంట్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు దాని నుంచి నోడ్ ఏజెంట్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది, దాని తర్వాత సర్వర్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు అప్లికేషన్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. స్టార్ట్ నోడ్ బ్యాటా అక్కడైతే స్టార్ట్ నోడ్ ఎస్హెచ్ డాట్ స్లాష్ షెల్ స్క్రిప్ట్ స్టార్ట్ నోడ్ ఎస్హెచ్ ప్రొఫైల్ సురుకు ఇంకా సాఫ్ట్వేర్ వస్తుంది మనం అక్కడ పెట్టినా కానీ ఇంకా నీ వస్తున్నాయంటే ఇంకా నీయే కలిసి నీట్గా ఉండంటారా అంటే జనరల్ అంటారు ఎవరిదో కొంప తెలుస్తుంది. సాక్స్ లేవు అసలు, శామ్స్ దగ్గర లేవు కాబట్టి నాకు కుదరట్లేదు, లేకపోతే నా పడతలేదండి. పడే
successfully. Nice. Now I'm starting my application server that can be started from here directly.
స్టార్ట్ చేయొచ్చు కదా, మళ్ళీ దీంట్లో స్టార్ట్ చేసి కమాండ్ ప్రాంప్ట్లో స్టార్ట్ చేయొచ్చు కదా.
రెండు విధాలుగా తెలుస్తుంది.
ఇక ఎవరికైనా తెలుస్తుంది, నాకు తెలియదు కదా.
అదే స్టార్ట్ సర్వర్
పైన ఏంటి కింద ఏంటి S1 సర్వర్ 1 ఉంది, రెండుదా?
రెండు సర్వర్
కస్టమ్ నోడ్ అవుట్లెట్ కదా.
క్రియేట్ చేసినప్పుడు నోడ్ 1లో రెండో సర్వర్ క్రియేట్
Okay,
చేసి
server is started. Just check the application.
కస్టమ్ నోడ్ది సర్వర్ నోడ్ 1 ఇంకోటి.
It should be in green. Okay. So in order to access the application, you should know the port number. Let me check the port number.
పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ ఎందుకు?
పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ తనే కదా సర్వర్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తుంది.
See, I told you default host already. This is nothing but HTTP port number, guys. Remember, if you see default host, it is HTTP. And if you want to see HTTPS, it is like default host secure. So you can access whatever the protocol you want. I go with HTTP 9081. But before going to this, make sure this 90 port number is under virtual host. See, come to environment here. Come to environment. Here we have virtual host. Go for default host. Aliases. Here you must have 9081. If not, add. It is there. Whenever you create a new server, those two port numbers will be added here by default. If not, you need to go for new and add. Remember, if 9081 is absent here, application will not be responded. You don't get response for application.
అంటే
So
కస్టమర్
make
యాక్సెస్
sure
చేయలేడా?
port number is here. Okay, fine. Now let us access the application. See how. HTTP / host name, where your server is, and port number and what it is running. And here I should give context root. This is the context root I copied while deploying application. Okay, you have seen context root right while deploying. That is the context root. That's it. This is the application. In organization side, there will be generalized name like bank.com or something.com like that. So for now, this is how we access the application after deployment, just to check whether everything is fine or not.
ఓకే.
This is a banking application where you can do something, but it needs database to create and save the data. I don't have any database configured, so leave it.
ఓకే.
That's it. That is how we access the application. Just come to your installation directory. See, to come files, IBM, apps server 8.5. You go to profiles, go to the MDR, config, cells, cell name. Here you see applications right at cell level. Go to applications. This is your application, Websphere Class16. Here you can see like this at master configuration cell level. But actually, we configure application to server 1. So server 1 belongs to application server profile. So in that, we have a folder called as installed applications, installed apps. There go with cell name. So here you see the application. If you open this, you could see VAS separately, JAS separately, and you will see deployment descriptor, everything we can see. Okay. So whenever we deploy it, always in organization we check whether it is modified with current date or not. See? Then only you can confirm that yes, deployment is successful. Else, earlier application will be there with the same name. You should check timestamp every time whenever you deploy. You will remember this, guys.
ఏంటండి మరి?
So this is how You can deploy an application by using console by using detailed path. I'm going with fast path now. Just see how it
లాస్ట్
goes.
5 minutes కింద మాడిఫై అయింది. సో ఇది చేసిన సక్సెస్ఫుల్.
So I need an ER file. See, you can go to your installation location. You have open.
మన దగ్గర ఉంటుంది.
So here you have samples or installable apps. This folder also contains so many. These are all for practice only. Don't expect they will run. Just
Run.
for practice.
జస్ట్ ఫర్ ప్రాక్టీస్.
This time I'm going with fast path. Next, so this is the first page. I'm not changing anything here.
ఏది బెటర్ అన్నాడు ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో ఫాస్ట్
And here we go. The deployment, actual deployment. I'm just deploying to server 1. So it may have put to server 1 if you could observe. Say next. See, you directly see somebody. No other step involved. So that is fast deployment. Let's finish. I do fast deployment only. I never do these detailed deployment process. Save it. Now the application is ready. Means it is down. You need to restart the server once. First it will come up along with the server. By default, application behavior is to start along with server. If you don't want to start it along with the server, you can modify that option. There is an option you can modify. Okay, anyway, like this we do deploy applications from console. Now, third type, from Websphere 8 onwards, they introduced one more called as monitoring deployment. That is called as global deployment as well. See here, under applications, we have an option called as global deployment. So we need to create a directory for that, monitor directory. So select. I want to create this directory in C folder, okay? That should be there, guys, in C.
మనమే క్రియేట్ చేయాలా
Any name you can give, not only this. Just for music I'm giving this. Okay? And what is polling interval? 5 seconds means for every 5 minutes, our deployment manager server looks into this folder because for new applications. If you copy and paste an ER file here, it will deploy it automatically. What you need to do, just create subfolders with your node name and server name. That's it. I'll show you how. See, apply, save. It needs a server restart, guys. Once you do this, you need to restart the server. I'm just restarting the server, okay? Deployment manager, I'm restart.
స్టార్ట్ కొట్టడం రీస్టార్ట్కి ఇంకో ఆప్షన్ లేదు.
కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఈ డిప్లాయ్ చేసి సర్వర్ రీస్టార్ట్ చేయాలా లేకపోతే VMware ఎంత రీస్టార్ట్ చేసాడు
ఇచ్చేది దాన్ని కాన్ఫిగరేషన్కి లేదు, మెయిన్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్కి వెళ్ళి డిప్లాయ్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా.
సో సో ఎక్కడైతే డిప్లాయ్ చేసామో అది రిస్టార్ట్ చేస్తాం, అంతేగాని సర్వర్ రిస్టార్ట్ చేయం. నార్మల్ సర్వర్
అది కూడా చేయొచ్చు. ఇందాక నీకు రెడ్ మార్క్ వచ్చింది సార్, అక్కడ సర్వర్ చేయాలి.
Starting. Started. Now go to the folder and just have a look. So here if you observe, it created some subfolders, right? I did not create them. It created by default, okay? So clusters, if you have any cluster, it would show that name here. Deployment properties, if you want to configure any specific properties, you can place here those properties in the form of file. Servers, right? Here you have to create your server name. I created my server name and I just need to paste my ER file here. That's it. See what I am doing? Installable apps. Some files are here. Okay. So I am copying some file called as catchy monitor. And I paste here. So you know, right, deployment manager verifies this folder for every 5 seconds. 5 seconds is the polling interval of deployment manager. So after 5 seconds the application gets deployed automatically here. So we started deployment manager, right? So we need to refresh the console once. So here we go to applications. See, you see that application here, dynamic catchy monitor, and it is started. And if you can see the target of the application, select the application. Here you have target specific application status, right? Select target. You can see the target name, that is server 1. That's it. See, we have 3 deployment techniques. Among them, this one is easy, must be. Because you gave just the folder name there in your monitoring deployments directory and you copied your ER file to that. That's it. That is what we do for this third type of deployment. This is introduced from Websphere 8 onwards. Earlier, we don't have this option. From 8 only they introduced. So this is how we deploy the application by using copy paste. This is also called as auto deployment. Automatic deployment. Right. So let's see a few options here. Start, stop, you must know. Right. To stop the application, to start the application, you can do this. Of course, application will be started along with the server. You don't need to start individually, but if you want to stop, even though the server is running, you can go for stop, start like this. Install, you know, we just installed new applications. Now, 3 applications we install. Uninstall, if you want to uninstall any application, suppose I don't want this application. uninstall. That's it. Simple one step. You just say save. The application gets uninstalled. And next update. You know already we have different types of updates: single file, single module, RCL. I told you right, full application update. Those things cover under update. Rollout update is actually used when you have a clustered environment. For now, not required. Remove a file. If you want to remove any file from the existing application, you can go for remove file. So there it shows all the files available for that application server. Sorry, for that application. If you want to remove anything, you can remove. Else cancel. And next, export means taking backup of ER file. If you click on it, it downloads to you. Okay, you can save it. Suppose your application is in IIT environment or staging environment. You want to deploy it to production. You can just export the application, save the same ER file, and you can deploy it to production. That's it. That is why we use export. And export DDL, something interesting is see here. Export DDL. If you click on export DDL, it opens a file. You can see this file and tell me what is this. What is this?
ఎప్పుడు ఏదైనా ఓపెన్ చేస్తాను వస్తుంది
అంతకు ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ
ఒక అప్లికేషన్ ఉంది అప్లికేషన్
Okay, these are all the instructions to create database, which is not our job. So DDL, data definition language, these are included in ER file itself sometimes. And export file, if you want to export any single file, you can go for this.
ఓపెన్ చేయడానికి
This is the entire ER export.
అన్నిట్లో ఏది ఎలా ఓపెన్
Export file,
అలా తెలుస్తుంది అని
only one file from your application. That's it. These are all the options, guys, about your application deployed
నువ్వు
application.
సక్సెస్ఫుల్ గా కాదో చూసుకోవాలంటే
This
ఫార్వర్డ్
is how
చూసుకోమన్నాడు కదా
I deploy applications by using console.
అలా కాదు
Next.
కన్సోల్ కరెక్ట్ వచ్చింది
I deploy application by using WSAdmin now. See how to
రన్ అవుతుంది
invoke WSAdmin first.
నీ వెబ్సైట్ రన్ అవుతుందా చెక్ చేసుకుంటావా మొత్తంగా
నేను డిప్లోయ్ చేసిన ఒకటి ఫోల్డర్లోకి వెళ్ళి చెక్ చేసుకోవడం ఇంకోటి
By default, it comes to Japan.
ఓకే
We'll do deployment in Japan and JSON both.
సో అప్పుడు నువ్వేమంటావు అప్పుడు ఏమైంది
See?
నీకు ఆ పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ ఏమైతే
The simple command is
రెండు రావు
dollar
లోకల్ ఫస్ట్ వెబ్ బ్యాంక్ వెబ్
admin apt
ఓకే
space install space
నాకు ఇలా
part of your ER file. So here I have so many ER file under installable apps. Give any. So I'm just taking this. See, Java does not support backward slashes. You need to use forward slashes only. Okay, I'm just replacing all the backward slashes with forward slashes. Okay. Done. And replaced everything. So paste, enter, and see what happens. See, application SA was installed successfully, completed. So I'm just saving the configuration. Admin config space save. Now the application deployed successfully. But did you mention the server here? Did you mention the server, to which server it needs to be deployed? And next question, to which server it got deployed? Two questions here, can someone answer? Two questions here is, first question, did we mention to deploy to any server? Or second person. So which server it got deployed? Venkatesh, Devi, anyone? Can anyone answer? No idea? Then, what's your opinion?
I think the application got deployed into WSTemp of Deployment Manager from the logs.
Well, deployment is completed. What? This is too
Yeah.
server I want. Server it got deployed. Is the question.
Default application server.
So there is no server called default application server. In Websphere there is no server called as default application server. Let me show you. Go to applications. See, this is the one I deployed, right? SI bus. See target. See, which is unacceptable. We never deploy application to deployment manager because it cannot be started. Deployment manager does not have application hosting service. So even though you forcefully deploy it, it never starts. You know why it deployed to deployment manager even though I didn't mention anything? Because whenever you invoke WS admin, it connects to deployment manager. Whenever you invoke WS admin, it connects to deployment manager. As you did not mention any server, it shows deployment manager by default. So that is the issue here. So this is unacceptable. Uninstall it. Then what to do? We need to give parameters for the command I used so that it gets deployed to that server only. See? This is what I gave, right? I directly said install, but I did not mention to which server, which node and all. So if I could mention the node name and server name, yes, it would have deployed to that server only by default. So now see how I mention node name and server name. Yes, you need to give braces, -node name, -server name. Let me show you that. See, I just gave this, but you need to mention this also. So, see here, I am just doing that. Okay, here, select your things. What is the node name? Whatever the server you want, you can mention the server name. Okay, that's it. Enter. So it is saying the application is already existed, it is not removed yet. The uninstalled, it takes a minute to synchronize that, that's why it is showing error. Okay, I'll choose another application. Okay, I'm just selecting this application, something is different. Okay, I selected some other application, admin app installed, path of the application, and to which node server it has to deploy of the application. See, application installed successfully. So once it is deployed, right, you need to save.
ఇలా చూడకపోతే నాకు కూర్చోవచ్చు కదా కంప్యూటర్లో పడుతుంది.
So save it. Sorry, admin. Done. Now you go to console. So that application is here, and you can go for target. So if you see the target, it is by default server 1. That's it. This is how we deploy by using Java. Now I want to do as the icon user. So admin space. You know how to invoke JSON, -lang JSON. So now you are on JSON. So the same admin app we use here, but a bit different. See here, the syntax earlier was $admin app space install, but now it changes to admin app dot install. The location of ER file is same, the attributes whatever you give are same, just there is a small syntax difference. That's it. Just paste. Of course it runs, there will not be any issue. Okay, now see, server name server 1, cell name, L01, node name, node 01. That's it. So here we should give the location of the file. So take any of the applications again. These are for deployment practice only, guys. You can practice whatever you want. Some ER file I'm taking. Enter. Done. Admin configured. Save it. So that's it. This is how we can deploy. Now you can go to console and check whether application was deployed or not. Just refresh. So you got that application here, and if you see the target, must be server 1. So this is how you can deploy applications to WS admin. And if you observe, this is direct deployment, guys. I did not give any single option during deployment. So it is direct deployment. If you hit the command, it takes all the options. It takes all the options and it does deploy the application. So there is another alternative as well. There it is Jokala Zaita. There is another alternative as well. Let us do that alternative.
గ్రీన్ చూపించిందా మనకి రిప్లై ఏం చేయలేదు.
I just say WS admin. Posting of WS admin. Just run this. As of now, I keep on giving install, but this time I just make a change. Install interactive and path of the ER file. That's it. See how it changes the things. So I did not give any server name or node name or cell name. See what it is asking. See, it is like earlier detailed deployment. Every option it asks you, you need to give inputs one by one. So if you want to give anything, right, you have to type here, or if you want to go with the default option, it shows in braces. Just hit enter. If you hit enter, it takes no only. Next, precompile Java server pages. I don't want to precompile, so it is by default no. If you want to proceed, just hit enter. Directly to install. I don't want to give anything. Distribute application, yes. Binary configuration, no. Enterprise beans, I want to keep it as yes. So type yes. Now the thing will be set to yes. Application name, this is the name, or I want to change application name to Ravi. You can, nothing. See application edition, these I don't know. I say next. See like this, all the options whatever you have seen in console, you will see here. You just need to provide your inputs and need to deploy the application, that's it. So it is more or less equal to console detailed deployment. See here, this option is very important to understand. By default, it is taking as DMGR server. If you observe, I do not give DMGR server, so I just make that server 1. That's it. So the same I give here also. There are two modules totally. One is var. This is var module, right? This is jar module. For two modules, I am giving the same. If there is another var module, I give the same to that also. That's it. You say next, finish. Since it's a big application, so it has many options. Yeah, it started deploying now. So like this is another process of deploying an application. It is another interactive way to deploy an application. So that's it. These are all the types of ways, these are all different types how we can deploy an application. You almost have seen different ways, 6 ways to deploy an application. It's the same thing you can do by using Zypher as well. Install interactive. See? Success. Save and go to console. You see in console you can see Ravi. Application name can be anything. Okay, context root must be as part of ER. Okay, so that's it. These are all the different ways to deploy an application. In organizations also we do like this one. So do we have anything else?
What is that red mean? Application status?
Application is down. It is not started. Application is down. It is not started. Green means application is running. You just need to restart your server once to start all these applications.
Can we deploy it through Job Manager?
You can. See, Job Manager also does do the same, right?
Yeah.
So same. or you can write a script, WS admin script. You place all the commands what I ran in a file, and you can run that script by using Job Manager, right? It does also do the same, right?
And what about the, it should many options, right? Like whatever can we do it through Job Manager?
You should provide all of them in the form of a file. You should provide all of them in the form of a file. In that case, the CAR file considers those options and then it deploys.
And for some of the servers, we will get out of memory exceptions, right?
When?
So where can we change, out of memory exception?
Out of memory. Okay.
Yeah, so where can we change that memory settings?
So you know what is out of memory exception?
I mean, some kind of, we'll set the heap memory or whatever, but I don't know exactly.
Okay, let me tell you. See, first I will discuss what is memory. Whenever we start the server, right? Whenever we start application server, deployment manager or whatever node agent, right? It occupies some memory from your RAM. That is called as heap memory. If you go to task manager in Windows, see this java.exe is occupying 445 MB. This is nothing but heap memory. We call it as heap memory. We assign some memory to each and every server by default. If memory is not sufficient, the objects that it is loading or that request it is responding, right, needs more memory. If memory is insufficient, it throws an exception called as out of memory exception. See, if a bucket is full of water, you are still pouring the water, what happens? It overflows, right? The same way, application server sends a message saying, boss, I don't have memory. In that case, you should increase the memory, or you just need to restart the server so that all the memory within the server will be cleared and it starts freshly. There are two options. Okay, if you select increasing memory, select the server, go to Java and process management, process definition, Java virtual machine. Here you have initial heap size and max heap size, right? You should change here. If you give 500, it takes 500, 600, it takes 600 MBs. It takes in MB. Clear?
Yeah.
That's it. Usually you don't get, don't worry. While deploying, you don't get. Because while deploying the application, we stop the servers. In organization, we stop the servers, we deploy, and then we start them. Because it tries to connect to DB, right? If everything is configured. In organizations, that is the issue. Database guys cannot make changes to database if the server is running. That's why we stop everything while deploying. The MJR must be running, that is enough. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Which way is preferable for the deploy? These are the 6 methods right now.
We have many. So, see, sometimes we go with console, sometimes we go with WS admin. It depends on your requirement. I did both, WS admin and console. If it is console fast path, if it is WS admin, they come. Got it? Any questions?
Thank you, Gary.
Okay. Any more questions, guys? This is deployment. Very, very important aspect of Websphere administration, deploying an application. I hope you are clear. So we completed more than 50% of our syllabus, whatever we discussed earlier. I just give you an overview what we are doing today. We completed deployment. We have JDBC next, and after JDBC we have clustering, we have JMS, we have security, we have performance, we have troubleshooting. these are the concepts left so far. So there are some miscellaneous concepts I discussed. So fixed pattern all we discussed already while installing Websphere itself. That is part of troubleshooting actually. So as part of cluster configuration, we see web server and plugin configuration as well. So these are the topics left with in our course. So we completed more than 50% of the syllabus. So hope you are practicing all these things. If not, at least start practicing, because from now onwards, I told you right, we start using Websphere. I use Websphere for my application hosting today. I use Websphere to access my application today, right? So from now onwards, you start using Websphere, which is very important. For this, you need to have good grip on Websphere. So let us start practicing Websphere, guys. Then only you will come to know all these things. Fine. So tomorrow we are going to discuss JDBC. See, there is a document, deployment document I gave you. If you see your documents, material, right, I gave you. You have deployment document. There you can see all the steps very clearly, whatever I did today. So there is a document called as deployment. See. So all the steps whatever we did today are there very clearly with explanation. He took some example and he explained there. You can understand all the things. See, all these steps are there. The meaning of every step is given. What is fast path, what is detailed path, what are these options, binary configuration, distribute application. All these things are there, guys. It's your interest, just go through it once. See the started, stopped state of see stop, start, install, update, rollout, update, everything is here, right? You can go through. Okay? So let us meet tomorrow for database configuration.
And Ravi,
Yeah.
I tried with one more installation manager in Linux, but it says the same. It shows me the same message like cannot install the installation manager.
Oh my god. So no, it is not installing for you.
I sent a link. You can see that. In that, I tried first two installation managers.
Okay. And when you send?
Just now in your chat box.
Oh, in your chat box. Okay. Send me an email.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just see.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? I'll see that and I'll go you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, meet you tomorrow. Bye-bye.